goodness, I'm still watching WWE. Guilty pleasure. Lots of hot guys touching each other. Well, hello you guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna be making a little bit of a different video, and I noticed that YouTube is full of like little kids like giving other little kids like advice about grown-up things. I don't even so I thought to myself, well, it would be kind of cool if I had like a little bit of knowledge about a certain subject that I can kind of help someone go through a time in their life where it's kind of difficult, and it's something that I've gone through and I've learned what worked for me. Today I wanted to talk to a very specific group of people whose population is growing, and there's nothing wrong with that, and it's the college dropout. And if you're wondering why I'm such an expert at college dropouts, number one, I used to work at a college in the Office of Student Affairs. I've pretty much heard it all. Secondly, both me and my boyfriend and some of my friends are all college dropouts. And we've kind of been through the same feelings, and we've kind of gone through the same emotions. And I just thought of some tips and tricks on how to get through it, and just how to emotionally and physically and like psychologically cope and futuristically cope, because it gets kind of complicated after a while. And I thought I'd just kind of help some of you CDs, college dropouts. Does that work? I just thought I'd help some of you college dropouts cope and learn a little bit more about the things that you can do to help you get rid of that funk. My story personally is I worked really hard in college. I had a pretty high GPA. I had a 3 point something, which, I mean, no, that's not like Harvard material, but granted, I made nothing but C's in high school. I probably shouldn't have even graduated high school, to be honest with you. But I made straight C's in high school. And once I got to college, believe it or not, I did much better in college than I ever did in high school. The only issue? I hate math. And I know some of you guys, it's English. Some of you guys, it's reading comprehension. Some of you guys, it's science you don't understand. But for me, my only fallback was math. Like, I had A's in every class you could think of. I had A's in physical science, geology. I had A's in psychology. I had A's in English. I had A's in history. I just failed so hard at math, and it got to the point where eventually I took a class during the summer. I was in the tutoring center 24 hours a week. Some people don't even work 24 hours a week. I was in the tutoring center. I studied with friends. I did pretty much everything you could do to pass a class. If you know how that feels, where it was just like you were trying so hard and you just failed. It's so difficult. And even if that wasn't your situation, maybe you were expecting a child and you had to drop out, or maybe just college wasn't for you. That's gonna be one of my points. No matter what, college dropouts, you can't be too hard on yourself, because I'm not even gonna censor it. Shit happens. And here's some tips and tricks to how I coped with it. It's been exactly a year since I dropped out of college, and it was really hard. I was actually going to college for middle school education, history. I love history. The worst part is they canceled my major at the college I was gonna go to, so if I do decide to ever go back, I'm going to have to start from practically scratch, and a lot of my classes will not count towards my degree, which sucks. Enough blathering about yourself. Let's get on to the tips and tricks. I came here for instruction. My cat ears. Number one, accept it for what it is. Maybe you didn't try as hard as you could. I mean, maybe you didn't live too much partying, if you know what I mean. And maybe you tried your damnedest and it just didn't work. Or maybe you really didn't care and you didn't give two elephants about the whole deal, and you just kind of left because, you know, you had better things to do. Just be realistic with yourself. Zone in on what happened and accept it. But don't dwell. No dwelling here. This is not the place to dwell. This first part, the acceptance, is to sit there for an hour, cry, eat some cheese, and just accept it. Tip number 2. no matter what, there's always a chance that you can go back. You know, some people are in situations where that is completely impossible, and I feel really bad for you, and that really sucks. I'm hoping in the future people will realize how important higher education is for our economy, and they will try to make it a little more accessible to those who don't have the financial stability to like go back full-time college, or that one day you might be able to go back. So right now, take care of your responsibilities. Take care of that you didn't get to take care of while you were in college. And there's one thing I wanted to mention real quick about going back, is if you left with a not so good grade point average, say like a 1.1 or 2.1, there is something called academic amnesty. Now, I'm not saying every college offers it. I really don't know what colleges offer it, but it's definitely something to call your local college and see if they do. Academic amnesty, to put it simply, it's just you've been out of school for at least 3 years, and you can choose to get rid of all of your old grades and start new. Because, you know, there's those core classes you have to take before you start your major classes, your Englishes and maths and sciences, and yeah, you'd have to take that all over again, but I mean, it's better than working with a 1.0, I'll tell you that much. But I'm gonna look into, I'm not saying every college has it, but I know in my hometown, at least 2 or 3 or 4 of my local colleges do have it. So, hey, doesn't hurt to call. You can use like an anonymous voice or something. Tip number 3 of coping. Sometimes you have to accept that college might not be for you. Now, this is difficult, so difficult. It's gonna be something that is probably gonna be the hardest when you're trying to explain it to family members. College just might not be for you, and that is so okay. Ready for society to tell you otherwise, like, oh, well, you're not making money, well, you should have went to college, or oh, you're at a low-paying job, should have went to college. Sweetheart, the guy who created Facebook, college, created a Tumblr, college, Gates, Steve Jobs, Walt Disney. I don't know if you heard of him. He dropped out of college. It's not a death wish. If college isn't for you, wonk wonk, oh well, one avenue closed, let's start looking for something new. Don't dwell on it. And you know, it's not a big deal. You can find decent jobs in your area that don't need college. And you know what? Our experience means a little bit more than college, because I have friends with degrees that don't have jobs. I have a friend with a degree that works like at a car place. Like, a degree doesn't automatically mean like golden ticket, you're gonna get the perfect job in the field you want. It's just a piece of paper, and then you have to find something to do. You could wipe your butt with it. I mean, that'll be for you. End of story. 4, continue bettering yourself. Even if it's something tiny and small, even it's just like, I want a whole new bed set for my bed. I don't know. I want to drink tea in the mornings. Just give yourself new goals that are easily accomplished so that you feel like you're accomplishing something. I know that's so silly, like, Hannah, that's so helping anything. It's just the little goals that every day you're like, okay, even if you want to do losing weight, which is a popular one, don't set yourself at 150 pounds gone, because God knows, that's too much broccoli. It's too much broccoli. But go 5 pounds down, or you want to start working on your fitness, you want to start working on being vegan or eating healthier, or I don't know, work on your shoe collection. Find a job that is tolerable. I know that sounds awful, and that's very baby boomer of me to say, but find a job that you can tolerate. Find a job that where you can make enough income to live and not hate it. If you hate it, leave and like start applying different places. I mean, you know. But find a job that you are okay staying at, that pays you enough to at least pay your bills, or maybe even move out. That's another goal you could have. You can move out of your parents' house, or if you're in an apartment with a roommate, you could work on a goal to move out of the apartment with your roommate. Something along those lines. But pretty much what you're gonna want to do is get a job. Duh. I mean, I know I worked 2 jobs while I was in college. Yeah, it was rough. 2 recs, 2 jobs, Ooh, grandmother's dropping, oh Lord, it was a mess. Work on gaining a new set of skills. Whatever job you're working, constantly think resume sentences. Resume sentences. So you can have something fun on your resume that people are like, that's different. Even if you're like a stock boy at like the ShopRite and you're like, oh well, I put up merchandise, then I don't know. Just work on gaining new sets of skills that you could possibly put on a resume or just tell someone about. And I think that will help you a lot in the long run. Number 5, don't give up on your dream. That's probably the hardest thing about when you drop out of college is giving up on that dream. You didn't really have anything else planned for your life, and that was pretty much your plan. Like, go to college, do this, life. You didn't really have anything else planned. And what you can do to still pursue that one dream is, I hate this saying, I hate it. There is more than one way to skin a cat. I don't want to skin cats. Sounds cruel. Mean is, most workplaces, there's more than one way to get where you need to go. You just gotta be a little creative. Now this is advice I'm trying to give myself, just saying. For instance, there's more than one way to become whatever you want to become. If you want to become someone in the criminal justice field, you can start out as a correctional officer where they will take, dear God, anyone. Or if you want to start out in teaching, you can start as a teaching aide, or you could just start out working in a school office, or you could even be like a substitute teacher, and it gains experience. So when you do go back to school for teaching, you'll have experience with student teaching. Genius. If you want to work in an HR office, then start as a front desk receptionist. Work on your typing skills and send in a whole bunch of resumes. And then HR will start to like you. You can put an in-house application at HR and they might hire you on and just train you themselves. So, ways to get into the field that you were studying in, it just takes a little creativity and hard work and maybe a little more time, maybe even less. I mean, you could probably get in there less than 4 years, so. Oh, this thing's really, I have a big head. Number 6, don't stop learning. I see your posts on Facebook. Every single word is spelled wrong, and there's spell check. Keep reading. God, keep writing. That is something that I needed to learn. I started my embarrassing blog. You can read it. I need to update it. I know. Stop yelling. But I started my embarrassing blog because I needed an outlet. I became so in myself and I started to not remember any vocabulary words, which I still need to start studying on that too. Writing helped me get out my emotions. It helped me feel good because I saw people were reading my content, and it just made me feel good because I was just putting something out there into the world and I was using skills that I had learned in school. Stop reading. There are so many great books out there. I'm not gonna name it. Be informed. Just look up on politics. Watch the news, not Fox News. News and stay informed on current events, because when you're kind of around people, you start to know what's going on and you kind of talk to your classmates. But when you are out of school, you're kind of by yourself. Like, there's almost like a hole in your heart where like human connection used to be, and you start to not care about what's going on in the outside. And you really need to keep yourself connected with people, and you need to keep yourself connected with the world and study things that you love. I love history. I could study history all freaking day. I won't watch the History Channel because I don't feel like watching 20 episodes of Pawn Stars. Can I get an amen? But continue to study what you love. Just keep interested in a subject and keep studying that subject, and you will be surprised at how much you'll learn and how much people will think you went to college, because you'll know more. The more you know. Is for your emotional health. Like I said, once you drop out of college, flunk out of college, whatever you did, step back from college, took a break from college, you, like I said earlier, you start to get this hole where like you had your college friends, or at least most of us did. I know I was really close to my college friends, and so was my boyfriend, and once we left college, none of those people talked to us again. I mean, I still have a group of girls, love them to death. I still talk to them over text, but I haven't seen them in probably a year. And there's one thing that me and Bill realized is some people are only your friend because they see you 5 days a week. I mean, mind blow. And it's a rough thing to accept because you're their friend out of convenience. They need companionship because, you know, college is kind of a companionship type of place. And you'll start to feel a little lonely. My suggestion is have a support group, whether it's your family. If your family is not happy with you, get a new support group full of fellow dropouts, or get a group full of people who are still in college, because, you know, when your friends are successful, sometimes it can also cause you to be more successful or make you feel more pressured to be successful, which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. Surround yourself with people who accept you for who you are and won't make you feel bad about the choices you made, or won't make you feel bad about the circumstances you were in that made you leave college. Believe me, you're gonna need that support system. I had a family member actually tell me, well, I told them I was taking a break, and he said, breaks are for quitters, you're never gonna go back. And like, I really didn't appreciate that, and people were kind of jerks to me, like I couldn't handle college, but I mean, I tried my damnedest, and I plan on going back one day when I have the finances and when I have the time. It's just rough because when your own family is thinking of you that way, I feel you. I feel you. A new hobby. I did needle felting. I did YouTube. Yay, hello. I started watching Netflix. Started finding new things to do to keep myself occupied and to keep myself out of that depressed, sad mindset, because when I did drop out of college, I went through a spiral. I was crying every single day. When a dream dies, it's like a person dies. It was my plan for the rest of my life, and it felt like it was gone, and I went through the grieving process. I personally had to get medicine because I couldn't control it. I felt so lost and so alone, and I didn't know how to stop myself from feeling those feelings, and it got to the point where it was putting a damper on the rest of my life. I didn't want to move forward. So, I mean, if you're going through that, I to get help somehow. If you feel like you're just not getting out of it, if you feel like all hope is lost, please get help. I just went to my plain old doctor. I went to her and I said, look, I've been really anxious. I've been having some depression episodes. I just need something to get me out of this slump. And she said, girl, I went to nursing school. I know what you're talking about. What you want? Literally, she asked me, what you want? Me to so lost. And that was probably the best thing that I could have did for my life. And I'm not saying a prescription is the way to go for everybody, but in my case, it helped. And if you feel like it could help you, please don't be scared to reach out to others or tell a friend how you're feeling, because these feelings, they can be pretty strong, and I don't think they should ever be downplayed. We're not these stoner dropouts that are lazy and sleep all day and don't have any ambition for the future. We're people who just got caught in predicaments, and one thing happened after another, and not least, stay positive. Try your best to fill your life with people you love and things you love. If you like Friends, fill your life with Friends. They got all the seasons on Netflix. Like, fill that empty hole with Friends. The life and your heart with other things, and learn that the things you love and the things you enjoy can happen after work, and you can have all the adventures in the world after the time clock ends, and that there's a perfect job out there for you where you will be perfectly happy or content, and you will find it one day. And searching, there's nothing wrong with searching. Like, all your friends have their stuff together. They don't. They just look like they do. You keep doing you. You keep doing what feels right. And just, you know, have a good time with it. Make memories along the way while looking for where you truly belong. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was a little different than my usual videos. Thanks so much for watching. Already, and you'd like to be, can you please subscribe to my channel, because a lot of you aren't, and like this video if you are a college dropout or someone you love is a college dropout and they need this video. And just know that you are not alone by any chance. It's becoming an epidemic, and especially in our economy, it's gonna happen more often. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm gonna see you guys next time, and stay positive. Don't be sad. Life is funny. Real funny. Bye, guys.